2x cubed. Let's let that load up here. Factor 2x cubed plus 17x squared plus 38x plus 15, given that x plus 3 is a factor. So there's a couple of ways to do it. Option 1 is to use long division. Option 2 is synthetic division. Have you used one or both of those?
I've done both of them.
Okay, so we're gonna use synthetic division because it's a bit better in most cases. I show a box here, and the number that goes in the box is when x plus 3 equals 0, it's the value of x that makes it 0. So -3 is going to go in the box here, kind of like a hockey analogy. And the next thing is you write the coefficients in descending order here. Now, if it's missing an x, like let's say x squared wasn't there, you'd still put a coefficient of 0 in this space. All right. Hopefully this is all review because you've seen it before.
Yeah.
First thing is you bring the 2 down. Okay, you just always bring that first number down. Then you take this 2 and you multiply it by -3. That's -6. Okay. Now you're going to add vertically 17 plus -6. That becomes 11. And you rinse and repeat. You take the 11 or whatever number's down here and multiply it by the -3. That's -33. And then again, you add 38 minus 33 is 5. 5 times -3 is -15. And you expect to get 0 here because it's a factor.
Mhm.
You expect to have a remainder of 0. Okay. Now we're almost there, but we're not quite there. This was 2x cubed, 17x squared, and 38x. When you divide, it reduces everything by a power of 1. So this becomes 2x squared, this first one, plus 11x plus 5.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're close. We're getting closer here. That's none of the answers, but we're getting close. So when you see something like this, there's 2 types of factoring that you might do. There's the guess and check approach, and then there's kind of like a diamond method where you take the 2 and the 5. What have you guys been doing in class?
I think we've kind of been doing like a check method, but we haven't really like been checking them a lot.
That's fine. So because there's only one way to get 2x and x, we're going to use the guess and check method. Okay. And it means that either the 1 goes here and the 5 goes here, or you switch them. Okay. So your check here is with FOIL. Okay. You just hope that this works out. Okay. So 2x times the x gives you 2x squared. The 2x times the 5 gives you 10x. The 1 times the x gives you 1x, and the 1 times 5 gives you the 5. And that does in fact work out.
Mhm.
Okay. Under different circumstances, I would obviously want you to work through this a bit more, but we got a short amount of time here to get this in tonight. So your answer is this 2x plus 1, x plus 5, but you can't omit that last or that original term, that x plus 3. So you have to bring that down here. And then you just have to match up the 1 on your test there. So it looks like it's letter D. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And I already did 6, so we could just go to the last page
Sure.
on 18.
All right. So this divide -6 plus 2i problem. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The recipe here, the steps to get this one in this form that they're looking for is you have to know what this means, the conjugate. Okay. And the conjugate refers to the bottom of this fraction. So 5 minus 4i is what you're given. The conjugate is the same thing, except you change this middle operator. So it goes to 5 plus 4i. So you just change that middle one. That is the conjugate. And you have to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate.
Okay.
Okay. Which means you're going to FOIL both the top and the bottom. All right. So we'll do we'll actually do the bottom first. The bottom works out nicer. When you FOIL here, you get 25 plus 20i minus 20i minus 16i squared. All right.
Mhm.
And that's where you have to remember that I squared is really -1.
-1.
Yeah. Yeah, normally I would say, yeah, we get you a little more involved, but just get through this here for today. So notice that the 20i and the minus 20i cancel. So this becomes 25 minus 16 times -1. That becomes positive 41.
Okay.
And you start looking at the answers and you're like, oh yeah, there's a couple that have 41 on the bottom. In fact, they all do. Okay, so you know you're on the right track. We have to FOIL the numerator now. So it's -6 times -5 is -30. -6 times 4i is -24i. 2i times 5 is positive 10i. 2i times 4i is positive 8i squared.
Mhm.
So in the numerator, you again combine like terms. So the -24i and the positive 10i, that makes -14i. I'm just gonna have to move down here for the room. And then it's -30 plus, let me just scroll back up here again, 8 times -1. Get this a little cleaner here. All right, all over 41. So now you combine like terms again, -30 and the -8, that's -38 minus 14i, but you divide both of them by 41.
Okay.
You saw, okay, it's got to be written in this form. That's the requirement. It must be in this form. So you're just looking for the one that pairs up with this. Let's see, looks like
B.
letter B. Yeah, it looks like B.
Okay.
All right, so I should probably check some of the other ones. Have you made any changes to these since we spoke earlier?
I haven't really.
Okay, so if you're okay with that, we'll just spend a few minutes here looking over the rest of them. One looks good. So no issues there. On 3, I'm just curious, did you use like a Desmos or a graphing calculator for these?
Yeah, I used Desmos.
Good.
And I just double checked.
You should absolutely use it. It's a good tool to use. So that is, so B looks good on that one. 4 is a circle centered at 3 minus 4. Okay, it's a little weird scaling, and then 4. Yep, so 4 looks correct. Were there any you were unsure about, or?
Can we go over 6? Because that's the only one I haven't done so far.
So it for sure has a positive coefficient. Okay, and that's because it opens up. This should jump out at you. I'm trying to grab a snip of this. This should jump out at you as a U shape,
Mhm.
and U shapes are squareds. That's even.
Yeah.
Okay, now since it opens up, it's positive. So there's like four rules you got to know. Even and positive is letter C, it looks like.
Okay.
7, symmetric about the y-axis. Yeah, C is correct. That's true. Horizontally 5 units to the left. 8 is correct. How's your grade going into the midterm here?
I'm at like a B. So I'd want to get it higher, but it's passing.
Yeah, I get it. Increasing on 2, 4. It's weird that your instructor scales the graphs by 2 instead of 1.
Yeah,
It's sort of
it
a
is kind of weird.
little frustrating thing. 10 looks good. 13 x-intercepts, got those down. Y-intercept, you got those down. And then 14, x squared, x times x plus 4 moves it left 2. Okay, that looks good. We did 15, 16. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the other screen. If it's wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just going
Oh
problem
no,
by
I'm
problem.
looking at my own paper, so I don't even
Okay.
notice.
Equation, write 4 down 3. There it is. All right, we did 17 together. And we just did 18. 19.
We did that one. Wait, no.
We did 18, you see 19. All right. Yeah. So I'm just looking at your work on the right. That looks, you did long division. That's
Yeah.
your handwriting's very good, very clean. I
Oh,
like that.
thank you.
All right. That looks really good. Hey, is mom available by chance for short dialogue? Nothing, just to get just my typical follow-up on the lesson.